Thuraiya Zarafy and Amna Sharji, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
So, AMAD, now we've seen this all over social media. It started when we saw this odd object in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of symbols on it. And I love the hype that created. Now, I have to admit, I kind of knew a little bit about what this was just because of knowing you before that, but I didn't know the full details. And then how that took off with social media influencers trying to figure it out, and all these people like, what is this object? And we finally find out that this object is related to something that is happening in Duqm. In fact, one of the social media influencers, Shuk, she went out and analyzed what those symbols mean, and she found out that, oh, they're ones and zeros. And so she cracked that code, which I thought was amazing, and she found that this is a location in Duqm. We later find out that it's AMAD. So could you just tell me really quickly, what is AMAD?
Sure. So let's take it a little bit back in terms of, the special economic zone at Duqm. So Amna and I are part of the investment promotions team at the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones. And we oversee the free zones, special economic zones, and now the industrial estates in Oman. So one of our main areas of focus is the special economic zone at Duqm, which is CZAD in short. So everybody usually knows, or when they think about Duqm, they think about, industrial activities, ports, logistics, manufacturing, and recently renewable energy and so on. But nobody really thinks about the lifestyle aspect of Duqm, right? So the area is extremely beautiful, has so many, natural landscape to it for people to enjoy, but nobody really thinks about, tourism. So that's why we came up with the concept of AMAD. Now, what is AMAD? AMAD is an event for the youth, by the youth. And it's the first of its kind in Oman. Previously, it's not been done before. It's in a more remote location, so it's more of like a road trip for people to go on to the location. And it'll be a mix of activities that are available that maybe we'll talk about later on in the interview. But just to kind of go back to what you said about the monolith.
That's what you call it, the monolith?
The monolith.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a type of guerrilla marketing tactic. So you get people talking based on curiosity and coming up with their own theories. What is that? We didn't give anybody any information. So everybody came up with their own concepts of what is that. So
wait, so these people who went and figured out, between us, they figured it out themselves?
With a little bit of help.
So you gave them a little bit of hints
behind
here
the
and
scenes. Yeah. But the idea was that we achieved our goal because we got so many people talking about it. Even in Saudi, people were talking about it.
No way.
Yeah. So that's something that, we're super happy about. And we're hoping that it will drive people to the event to find out what is happening.
Okay, so I can see why you started the event, what the objective is here. It's to show Duqm more than just its industrial projects and plans. And so you're creating this youth event, which is happening on the 25th of November.
Yes, it's a 9-day event, 25th until the 3rd of December.
So what is so special about this event? What's going to happen there?
Usually when we go to events, you do some activities, you eat and leave. But the message that we want to transfer through AMAD to people, that's something different. AMAD has a story overall, is we want people to enter AMAD and feel like they're 100 years ahead of today, basically. So the event theme overall is retrofuturism, having a story, having a theme that's different to events, basically. And having the element of people living in the event itself, that's something additional to the events we used to have in Oman, or we're having in Oman. And why we have that, basically because we want the place to be vibrant throughout the day. We don't want the place to shut down and it becomes like a dead city at a certain time of the day. And that's why we added the element of people living in the area. Again, taking into consideration that Duqm is a remote area. So that adds to the living option for the people visiting AMAD, basically.
So can we talk about the living experience there? So I looked at some of the posts that you guys had. And first of all, the thing that struck me the most was the prices. The prices are insanely affordable.
Yeah.
What's the catch? What's happening here?
So that's actually one of the main things that when we initially discussed this project as a working team was that we are seeing a lot of our youth traveling to different parts around the Khalij, say Dubai, Saudi, for example, for entertainment. Now, why don't we provide them these entertainment options in Oman? And not only that, what we also did was what's really special about this event is we did a focus group with our target audience. We sat with them, group of young women and men, and we asked them, what do you want to see in Oman? Why are you traveling? What is it that you want in terms of entertainment options over your National Day holidays, your weekends, whatever it may be? And after we asked them what do they want in terms of activities, we asked them, okay, how much would you spend on this? And we realized that our target audience do not have that financial capability to spend so much
because they're the youth, they're younger people.
Exactly. And we're not going to create something that's unrealistic, for them not to be able to afford. So that's why, especially as, the two government entities that are handling this.
Which are?
So the two entities that are handling this is us, OPAZ, which is the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones. And we're doing it in a partnership with the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So we're joint venture partners in this project together. And we have a company called Innovation Factory, which is helping us in terms of the execution of the event. Innovation Factory, I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but they're the guys who did the Omani Pavilion at Expo. So they're an SME. And so that goes back to the essence of this project. Everything that has been contributed to this project, from the strategic planning, execution, implementation, marketing, it's all being done by the youth of Oman.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, if I may add to that, if we go back to what's special about AMAD, all of these aspects are actually special. Having an event done from the youth to the youth, involving so many people that we work together on a daily basis to very late at night. We kind of formed our own community out of AMAD. So we know these people from 2-3 months ago. Right. But we are actually family by now. Yeah. And that's the beauty behind AMAD, basically. So every element in AMAD is special if we think of it that way.
How is that? Could you explain to me how these elements are special? Every element. What are all the elements, Aslan?
Okay, so starting from how we came up with the idea, sitting with a focus group, asking them, what do you want, trying to fulfill their requirements. And those are the activities, basically, of AMAD, coming out of the ideas of the young people in Oman. And we are trying to implement it as a government entity. That I believe is very special, trying to cater to their financial capabilities as well, as you've mentioned. Yeah. When we think about the details of AMAD, they were all also designed by young Omanis, starting from the entrance, which is a huge structure done out of scaffolding. And through the entrance itself, we are trying to sell a message or transfer a message to the people. Scaffolding in a place like Duqm is considered to be one of the major waste. And we are trying to tell people, using waste, you can actually do something very beautiful and something that could serve a purpose as well. So work with those. Going into AMAD, again, the information center is designed in a different way. We have a mosque in AMAD, basically, because we believe that's something essential for our culture and also designed by a young Omani. Nice. Using very basic materials like pipes and fabric and similar elements. But the idea, again, is from simple materials, using the talent of our local architect, we can come up also with something very beautiful. Yeah. The idea is, why is this concept are not used in the prayer areas, for instance, in the different governorates of Oman in general. So in every element in AMAD, we are trying to transfer a message to the visitors of AMAD.
And if you could encompass that message in one sentence, what is the message?
In one sentence, that's very difficult.
I think there's three core, if you can allow, three words.
We'll let it slide this time.
Okay. So everything that we're doing is surrounding three pillars, which is art, innovation, and sustainability.
Nice.
So every element that you'll find once you enter the AMAD arena is touching either an art or an innovative or a sustainability aspect to it.
Right.
So those are the three things that we would want to transfer. If you can take away a message, because the idea is when you come, you know, you spend a night there, 2 nights with your friends, your family, etc. You create memories, you know, which develops a sort of nostalgic, you know, tie to the city. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to inspire people. You know, Duqm is a land of dreams. Duqm is a land for innovation. You know, come set up your businesses, your SMEs, whatever it may be. It's not necessarily a petrochemical business or complex that needs to be set up.
Yeah.
There's a huge opportunity over there for the SME community as well.
I'll tell you what's the most appealing thing to me. It's your aesthetic, صراحة. يعني the whole, I like that you describe it as retrofuturism. Yeah, I can see that, right? I see those domes, I see your graphics, and all of that is very appealing to me. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, I'm going to go there and camp for 2-3 days. Aside from the camping experience and the dome experience, what else am I going to experience there?
Yeah. Great
Okay,
question.
there are art installations that, to start with, she spoke about the 3 pillars. So when it comes to art, there are art installations all over the site. Basically, each one of them is delivering a certain message to the people. So it's a good place for people who are into arts, basically, and love that vibe. To be honest, I'm not one of them.
Okay.
But when I saw the art pieces and I realized that these were designed by Omanis, I was so proud, first of all.
Yeah.
And I've realized that, no, these things are beautiful, actually.
Yeah. And can I add one point to that?
Yeah.
Which is, the art installations are huge pieces. You know, they can be like 3, 4, 5, 6 meters high, wide, and they're just when we sat with our focus group, we also sat with a group of artists that have not had the opportunity or the platform previously to showcase their art. So what we're doing is we're kind of, you know, giving back to the artistic community and telling them to dream. So what they did was they came back to us with these really cool concepts and structures, and you know, they're also Instagrammable moments. You know, so a lot of people travel to, say, Neom to look at that big
Right, the wall
mirror structure.
Yeah.
So, you know, why not create, because it's the same landscape, right?
Is
It's
it?
in the desert, or not in the desert, but in a rocky area as
Right.
well. So it's outdoors. So these artists are able to showcase their art in a platform that they never had previously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another activity that we can talk about, there are so many art and cultural activities in the place. So we have many musicians coming to the event. And again, it's the same idea of the artist, where we wanted to give the opportunity to people who never had the chance, basically to showcase their capabilities. We are trying to do the same with some artists in Oman, basically. In terms of activities, again, when we sat with a focus group, like, you can play football in Muscat. Why would you go to Duqm and play football, for instance? So we tried to make everything special in a way that we can actually attract people. So one of the activities on site is, you know how when you go to Europe in winter and see the ice skating arenas?
Right.
So we wanted the same experience for people visiting AMAD because it's a joyride. So we wanted the same experience, but something that fits our environment and culture.
It's not ice, that's for sure.
We don't have ice.
Yeah.
So how did we do that? Is the team came up with the first e-scooter arena.
An e-scooter?
Yes.
Well, what does that look like? Is it?
Come to AMAD.
I will. I'm definitely interested in joining.
It's like a 1 kilometer joyride where you get a scooter.
Yeah.
And then there are little like obstacles that you go through, like laser lights, bubbles. So it's something that you can ride on, reflect, enjoy. So it's the first that it's been done in Oman, right?
I think it's the first e-scooter arena in the world.
Wow. In the world.
If I'm not wrong. Along that, there is a mini stage within the arena itself where you would see small performances, like somebody playing guitar or a solo singer. So we are trying to make it as interesting as possible for people to have the reason basically
to go
to drive to Duqm or to fly to Duqm for an event.
Because it is a drive. It is quite a drive.
And that's the thing that I want to touch upon is that because it's a drive, we need to create events that targets footfall, right? So a lot of activities already have communities around them. One of the things that we're doing is you can't easily fly a drone in Muscat or in Salalah or in any of the other city, but in CZAD, we are the regulators, right? So we're the authority that regulate the zone. So we're gonna bring in the drone community. They're gonna have, races, both amateur and more experienced. So they're gonna have like an obstacle course to race their drones as well.
And anyone can take part?
So in the amateur one, I think so.
I hope so.
We either ways.
Call somebody right now.
Yeah,
that's okay. We'll put it on air. Just call
even
somebody.
even if we are regulators, we still want to not work with the other authorities, basically.
Of course.
So we are registering all the drones that will compete in AMAD in the Authority of Civil Aviation as well. So if anybody would like to join, this is the right time.
So we do have like a schedule that will go live very soon on our website on what will be happening on an hour-to-hour basis. So we've got the drone races, we've got RC games, we've got arcade games as well, old school kind of games.
Oh, nice.
We've got performances.
I'm getting like Stranger Things vibes there.
Yeah.
It is very like it can have that as well, Stranger Thing vibes, but it's also with a fusion of our culture somehow as well. So we've got music and entertainment. We've got theater acts. We've also got what else?
We have communities coming down to AMAD. So when we talk about the astronomy camp, the mental health camp, we have
food lab. That's really cool.
The food lab as well. So people who are interested in these areas, they have things to explore in AMAD, basically.
Yeah. So one thing that I noticed in your accommodations is something that I've been very fortunate to have a lot of experience in, but I know a lot of Omanis haven't, and that is shared accommodation. Can you tell us how that is set up and what people should expect when they're booking a bed? Because I think in Oman generally we don't have that hostel culture in general. Yeah.
It's not going to be actually sharing with strangers. So you're going to come with your group.
I see.
So there are a couple of accommodation options. You've got the domes, which you saw on our Instagram, I think, and then that has a capacity for 6 people. So you can take less if you want, but you have to book the entire dome.
Okay.
You can also bring your own tents. So we're gonna dedicate areas. So and usually when you go in a camp in areas outside of the city, you kind of scatter all over. We've identified areas for you to set up your tent. So it also looks visually appealing for outsiders when they walk in. So it's not just scattered, crowd of tents, and then there's like a respectable distance between each family or each group of friends.
Facilities?
We do have facilities over there. You'll have electricity connected to water as well. They're going to be, public amenities as well, showers and so on. And you also have the hotels there. So we've got Crown Plaza there. We've got Park Inn there, City Hotel. So
for all the fancy people.
Yeah. So or the organizers that are going to be working there throughout. You also have Renaissance Village as well.
To connect to the idea of sustainability, you spoke a little bit about the art pieces, using sustainable material like scaffolding, which would otherwise be tossed away. What other parts of this initiative adheres to sustainability?
Yeah.
So I think sustainability is one of those words with so many definitions.
That's the thing. It's so broad. So how exactly is it sustainable?
So maybe we can look at it when you think about continuity, basically. So we are trying as much as possible all the events that are happening in AMAD for them to be business opportunities for SMEs later on to take further and turn it into income aspect for them. Anything that we do, we try for it to stay. So for instance, we have a paddle court and we already secured a permanent location for them after AMAD for them to be in Duqm. The e-scooter arena, we are keeping it for a while at the location, bringing Safrud, if you heard of them, the scooter company, the Omani company in Nizwa.
Okay.
Basically. So they'll be running the e-scooter arena during AMAD and after AMAD for a while for them to see if this is an actual opportunity for them to take further and replicate probably in different areas in Oman. When we talk about the material, the scaffolding was one of the examples, but also everything done in AMAD, basically it's minimal. And it's nothing like, huge chunk of concrete or anything like that. Yeah. At the end of the day, we are having the event in an investment land. So we want to invest that in the future. And we don't want to damage it. So anything that is done in AMAD can be used with a life cycle of 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically, and it could go longer if it was well maintained. Basically. Yeah. So yeah.
Aside from the actual materials used in terms of sustainability, it's also our communities, right?
Yeah.
So like today we have above 200 people, and what's amazing is, based on the monolith campaign that we did when we announced it was us who are doing this campaign, people started coming forward and saying, we love the idea, we want to volunteer. So we started getting people to come into the workshop and start painting things,
cool.
start helping us, and they would all do it free of charge because they believe in the concept and they believe in what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So in terms of sustainability, it's the communities we've brought together of artists, of engineers, of nerds, of
my favorite people, man.
It's like a room with a bunch of nerds just getting excited over this event, and we're really grateful for the fact that we got the opportunity to do this, and we're getting a lot of support from our ministry and our authority to kind of dream and do something that's never been done before with all these communities combined, from the private sector to the public sector.
I'm very excited, Saraha. I'm getting Burning Man vibes here. I don't know if this is too far off to say, but I'm getting that energy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the event is actually going to go, if it's going to go the direction of
Burning Man, we got to keep it culturally sensitive,
Yeah, don't worry about it. This is all recorded.
So, like, at the end of the day, we're trying to keep the culture and keep it realistic, but also keep in mind, right? Like, this isn't an event that, we're bringing in like the Beyoncés and all of that. This is completely being done locally, and the entertainment options are done locally. So we're learning a lot first year. This is an event that we want to eventually do on an annual basis. So we want to scale it up. But, for the first year, we're going to learn a lot. It's going to be a lot of trial and error, but we're excited. And we know that it's going to succeed based on just the feedback and the excitement we've been getting from people.
Well, I look forward to it. It's on the 25th. You guys are on Instagram at...
So if you want to know more information, you go discover_Duqm on Instagram.
Anything you want to leave us with before I say goodbye?
Come. I think that's something that, we're... تعالوا قربوا. غاية الدقم is our hashtag.
No way, really?
غاية الدقم,
غاية الدقم.
Yeah, it's super shababi.
شابة.
Yeah.
مرة.
It's خلا. We came up with a lot of hashtags. We ended up with غاية الدقم. But you're going to see a lot of things that, you've not seen before, and come support your local talent. It's being done for the youth, by the youth.
And we would like to thank all the communities that worked with us in AMAD so far. They were the reason in making AMAD a reality. Thank you for believing in the concept. And we wish it to be a success for everyone. And we would like to thank our sponsors actually for believing in us and giving us the support to make AMAD happen.
Thuraiya, Zarafy, Amna, Sharji, I wish you all the best. And I hope this project goes better than you expect, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you.